Do you still identify as a Democrat?
I'll be involved any way I can.
Do you
I'll be
still
involved
identify
any
as
way
a
I can
Democrat?
to help. I identify as an American. I'm an American through and through.
And that was West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin with me yesterday morning on Sunday Morning Futures, refusing to say he identifies as a Democrat. Manchin also saying that he's willing to vote to raise the debt ceiling, but he wants a conversation around it, around spending cuts. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, meanwhile, said that the administration is willing to negotiate with Republicans over their budget proposal, but not as a condition of raising the debt ceiling. Joining me right now is Texas Congressman, member of the House Finance Committee, and Chairman of the House Small Business Committee, Roger Williams, is here. Senator, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. How is this going to play out in the coming months in terms of this debt ceiling debate?
Well, we're going to see what it does. I mean, the debt ceiling, we can't continue to raise it without having cuts. Like every family, every small business, if you're at around $1,000, you cut $1,000. We need to have that mentality up here, and it's got to be now because of the $32 trillion debt. We can't continue to have that and pay the interest on it as the Fed raises interest rates too on ourselves. So we've got to have cuts, and that's what I'll be supporting.
So where would you cut? I mean, look, you look at defense spending in the midst of so many provocations from China, Russia. And then you look at, you know, the Social Security and Medicare. They're going bankrupt in the coming years, but the president does not want these things touched.
Well, he doesn't, and there's got to be ways to cut. I mean, you know, I heard the other day there's 900,000 government-owned buildings that we have in America. Half of them are vacant. $1 billion to clean them. I mean, those kind of things we can start looking at. But when you talk about $32 trillion, you hardly ever get there. But if you talk about $1 trillion a year for the next 30 years, maybe we can deliver somebody a balanced budget when it's time for them to run the show. But we've got to cut, and there's got to be everything's got to be on the table. Now, I say that, but I don't mean that we'll be cutting Social Security, Medicare, that kind of thing. Other things we need to look at and get serious about it.
So, Congressman, your thoughts on the macro story? We've got a new Fox News poll that finds only 31% of Americans approve of Biden's handling of inflation. 36% like his handling of the economy. A full 57% of voters said that they have less money in their pockets today than they did a year ago. What are your thoughts on this slowdown?
Well, I mean, it's a real slowdown. It reminds me, Marie, of 1981 when we had 20% interest rates and high inflation. We're a lot like that. This administration talks about how good business is. Main Street, I can tell you, it's hard on Main Street between inflation, interest rates, supply chain. You can't seem to get started, and you got government regulations coming at you every single day. So this administration's got to get serious about opening up Main Street, frankly. I mean, we're not going to get inflation down until we have a supply chain that we can flow goods and services through our country and not buy from, we need to be selling to. So I don't know if they're serious about that. It appears they're not. But Main Street America is hurting right now. And look, let me tell you, we talk about interest alone. Interest cuts into margins. It cuts into everything. It costs jobs. We've got to, as he says, we've got to stop that interest rate increase, create a supply chain, and sell our way out of it.
Well, now, Congressman, the House Small Business Committee is investigating how the Biden administration's regulations are impacting small business. The committee holding a hearing tomorrow. We know that this was a major focus for President Trump, cutting regulations. But the administration, the new administration, came in and started reversing all of Trump's executive orders and laws around or ideas around cutting regulations.
Well, they're adding regulations. You know, since Biden's been in office, $320 billion of regulations have been imposed on Main Street, which is going to require Main Street 120 million man-hours to do with these regulations. So now people are hiring compliance officers instead of loan officers in banks, compliance officers instead of salespeople, and that's a direct cost again to business. So we've got to cut the regulations. We've written a letter to some of the IRS and some of the other agencies. I want to know, as chairman of the Small Business Committee, what are they doing to cut regulations? What are they doing to help small business? It's going to be interesting, their answers, because they're doing nothing to help small business and Main Street America right now when this is the backbone of our economy.
And what do you want to say to the mid-cap and smaller oil companies who are worried that the banks are not going to bank them, not going to lend to them because of this push on the green agenda and this pressure on fossil fuel companies?
Well, there's a lot of regulations put on banks. You're exactly right now. In fact, some banks will tell you the regulations through the CFPB are so are so hard that it's almost easier not to make the loan, not to make the credit line to these small businesses and so forth. We've got to fix that. We've got to let competition work, and we've got to turn the economy over to Main Street. Half the payroll, half the workforce, Maria, is generated by small businesses in this country.
All right, we will leave it there. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much.
Always.
Congressman
Thank you.
Roger Williams joining us.